Hi, that Paul guy. I don't think I'm supposed to have this. Inside the box, for those of you that know how to read the label, is a Ryzen 3 Pro 4350. This is one of, it's an AMD unicorn, basically. Now, AMD does have a 4000 series chip. They typically are in notebook computers, and there's the ultralight, which are the 4000 series U, and then the high-powered ones are the 4000 series H. They're a little bit higher power. They're for the high-end user or whatever have you. But they do not normally let you know anything about these animals here. Now, I believe there's a 4350, a 4600, a 4650, a 4700, and a 4750. Don't quote me on that. I've seen 43s, 4350s, 4650s, and 4750s that I could conceivably get my hands on, and that's where I got the 4350. But AMD has also relegated their 5600, 5700Gs to pre-builts and stuff like that. So these are the ones that they're APUs. They have the graphics already on them, Vega graphics already on, and they range anywhere from Vega 6 all the way up to Vega 11. They are a similar type of architecture that was in the previous Vega graphics, the 2400G, and then the 3230-400G as well. But they are at a higher clock frequency and a little bit more efficient, so they are a little bit better. They are not the RDNA that you will end up seeing in future GPUs, and AMD has come out and said things about producing that in the future, but they just quietly let these slip under the radar. And to kind of take this out here, let me show you. Ew, that was kind of nauseating, wasn't it? I'll see if I can't do a better swipe in the future. All right, so we've got this out of here. Now, if we can focus on that, there we go. So the 4350G, like I said, there's a 4650G, which is a Ryzen 5. There's a 4750G, which is a Ryzen 7. And then the updated 5000 series will have something similar to it. But like I said, those are pretty much in pre-builds. Whereas these weren't really... they weren't really advertised or let out of the bag, I guess you could say. And for people that are looking to get these, you typically have to get them in some kind of a system build. You have to buy a motherboard or something like that along with it. You have to get other parts, so it's an OEM build, if not in an actual pre-build. Then you know. So I actually ordered this unicorn on eBay, and including shipping, tax, and all that stuff, it came out to like 184 bucks. I don't know if it's more or less than that by now. The prices were going up a little bit right after I bought it, but I don't know if they've stabilized any. Knowing that it's an APU, who knows? It could go up or could go down. Anyway, I got it. It can't come from South Korea. It came from just outside of Seoul, South Korea. So it flew out of Incheon, and I figured, okay, going out of Korea, we would probably go across the Pacific Ocean. We would go to probably either Seattle or Los Angeles, and then come across the country and come down to where I am in Florida. No, that's not quite the way that worked. First, it went to Bahrain. Yes, Bahrain as in the Middle East, Bahrain, near Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. Then it went to Frankfurt, Germany. Okay, then it went from Frankfurt to Leipzig, Germany. Okay, and then it went to Cincinnati, Ohio, which is where evidently DHL has their hub for the United States. And then finally on the seventh day, it came to Florida, where I am. So all this proves is that DHL thinks the world is flat. And I can't stress that enough. It probably would have taken 4 days the other way. But instead we went 13,517 miles instead of going, I don't know, like 7,500 miles. DHL, I don't know. I don't know if you just don't like the West Coast, you don't like Seattle, or you don't like Los Angeles, but I'm glad you did get it to me. But what we're going to do with this is we're going to throw this into the Corsair build, the smaller Corsair build that I was working on before. It does not have a video card in it because we were using it for the HP, doing some testing, live benchmarks going on right now. So we're actually going to throw this into that has the X470 motherboard from ASUS. We're going to test it out, and we're going to see how it does. So how does the 4-core, 8-thread Ryzen 3 4300G stand up in AAA titles? Are there at least the same games that I've been testing on the newer HP that I bought and the old HP that we just got working? It doesn't. One of the first problems I had was that the Radeon software didn't even recognize the operating system, Windows 10, something it sees millions of times a day. Not on this particular computer, obviously, but that was one of the first errors I got that I thought was a bit strange, that the drivers didn't even recognize the operating system. So that kind of was my first clue. When I tried to play, I downloaded Steam, or got Steam set up and everything. Went to go to try play Borderlands 3, and I get a DirectX error, DirectX 11 feature 10. Now, I'm sure that would be included in the video drivers, but seeing as how I couldn't update the video drivers because it didn't recognize Windows 10, a fresh install of Windows 10, by the way, we got nowhere, so it wouldn't play. With Far Cry 5, it got stuck on like a frame per second and then finally gave me an error and then went back to the original screen, the original load-up screen. For Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it let me select it. Then it told me, oh, by the way, you don't have a video card in here. Do you still want to try to play it? And I thought, well, you're showing me this message, so I got to have some kind of video, right? So I clicked on yes, and then it took me back to the regular Steam screen, and then it gave me the option to play the game again. I didn't try CSGO on it yet. I'm sure it will probably run, but it might surprise me not even run at all on that. And for some reason, Dirt 5, I couldn't even get started at all. It wouldn't even start for me. So as far as AAA titles on this particular APU, it's not going to happen. This thing is totally set up for just everyday work. It is web browsing, it is office productivity, it is what have you, but it is, if it's anything graphic, strenuous in the graphic sense, games, production, video editing, anything like that, it's a no-go. It's just not going to happen on this CPU. Now, what I will do is I will go ahead and I will try to test on some older games, maybe some retro type games, to see if that ends up working. I will also test this with a video card just to see how robust the actual CPU is compared to some of the other CPUs that I've got, and we'll see how the actual quality of the processor itself holds up. But as far as trying to test this thing with gaming, and especially giving it head to head with the old HP and the newer HP, it's not going to do it at all. So not even being able to stretch its legs with 16 gig of memory and the whole 9 yards and with the X470 motherboard. It just wasn't doing it. So I do have more stuff coming up on the old HP. I'm going to go ahead and share some benchmarks with that. That should be coming up probably this weekend. I was able to use the tape trick to overclock that, so you want to stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, please do. Like 9 out of 10 people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. That's craziness. But anyway, if you like the video, go ahead and throw a like on it. If not, you can dislike, but kind of let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it in the future. And until we do some more testing on this and figure out what we got going on and share some other stuff with you, that's all I got. So I'll see you later.